What if a handful of crunchy, everyday snacks could quietly lower your blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and even protect your nerves, heart, and kidneys without needing a single pill? In this video, we're diving into three powerhouse nuts that most people completely overlook when managing diabetes. One of them is packed with a brain-boosting amino acid, another targets belly fat, and the last is a master at calming inflammation and cravings. We'll also share a special pro tip for each one, so you can get even more blood sugar benefits with every bite. Curious which ones they are? Stick around because the last one might just change how you snack forever. First on list, peanuts. Peanuts might seem like a humble snack or a childhood lunchbox staple, but for diabetics, they're quietly one of the most underrated nutritional tools available. Despite being technically legumes and not true nuts, peanuts offer many of the same benefits as tree nuts, plus a few unique advantages of their own. One cup of raw peanuts contains about 828 calories, 24 grams of protein, 72 grams of fat, mostly heart-healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, and 12.4 grams of fiber. Their net carbohydrate content is just around 15 grams per cup, or roughly 3.8 grams per ounce, making them a low-carb, blood sugar-friendly option. But it's not just about carbs, it's about the entire metabolic picture they help improve. When it comes to blood sugar, peanuts have a very low glycemic index of 13 and a glycemic load of just 1 per ounce. That means they barely impact blood glucose levels when consumed alone. But the real magic lies in how they affect meals as a whole. One research study showed that when peanuts are added to a high glycemic meal, they can significantly reduce the post-meal glucose spike. This is because the fat, protein, and fiber slow down the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, leading to steadier blood sugar responses. Another study found that daily peanut consumption improved fasting insulin sensitivity by up to 15%, especially in people with metabolic syndrome or prediabetes. But that's just the beginning. Peanuts are rich in nutrients that directly benefit diabetic health. They provide about 25% of your daily recommended niacin, vitamin B3, per ounce, which plays a key role in cellular energy and nerve protection, particularly helpful for those managing diabetic neuropathy. They also offer magnesium, about 50 milligrams per ounce, or 12% of the daily requirement, which is vital for insulin function and glucose regulation. Many people with type 2 diabetes are chronically low in magnesium, and restoring it may improve both insulin sensitivity and A1C levels. Peanuts also contain potent antioxidants like resveratrol, p-coumaric acid, and flavonoids such as luteolin and quercetin. These compounds help reduce inflammation, oxidative stress, and endothelial damage, which are all drivers of complications like diabetic nephropathy, kidney damage, and retinopathy, eye damage. In fact, some research has shown that regular peanut consumption may reduce markers of oxidative stress in the blood by as much as 20 to 25%, offering a protective effect at the cellular level. Peanuts are also a source of arginine, an amino acid that helps improve blood flow and keeps blood vessels relaxed. For diabetics, this can mean better circulation, faster wound healing, and lower risk of complications in the feet and legs. Pro tip: for better blood sugar control, try eating 1 ounce of dry roasted or unsalted peanuts, about 28 peanuts, as a bedtime snack. Research shows this can reduce morning blood sugar levels by up to 10 to 15% by slowing overnight glucose release and supporting insulin function while you sleep. Even better, the amino acid arginine in peanuts helps improve blood flow, while the healthy fats keep you full, reducing late-night cravings that spike blood sugar. Heart health is another critical area for diabetics, and peanuts score high here too. They are rich in monounsaturated fats, particularly oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil, which helps reduce LDL, bad cholesterol, and increase HDL, good cholesterol. One study demonstrated that substituting a serving of peanuts for processed snacks led to a 10% reduction in total cholesterol and a 12% drop in LDL over 8 weeks. That's major support for people with diabetes who face twice the risk of cardiovascular disease. Peanuts may even assist with weight control, which is closely tied to insulin resistance. Despite their calorie density, Peanuts are surprisingly satiating. The combination of fat, fiber, and protein keeps you full for hours, reducing the urge to snack on high glycemic foods. Studies show that people who include peanuts in their diets tend to naturally consume fewer calories overall, supporting both glycemic control and weight loss, two critical goals in diabetes management. In terms of practical use, a good portion for diabetics is about 1 to 1.5 ounces per day, roughly a small handful or 28 to 42 grams, which delivers 160 to 220 calories. Choose unsalted, dry roasted, or raw varieties to avoid added oils and sodium. Peanuts pair well with high-fiber fruits like apple slices, inside vegetable-rich wraps, or blended into smoothies for creaminess and a protein boost. You can also use peanut butter. Just make sure it's natural with no added sugar or hydrogenated oils. 2 tablespoons of natural peanut butter provide about 8 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, and a similar dose of healthy fats. As for safety, peanuts are generally well tolerated, but be cautious with flavored or honey-roasted versions, which often contain added sugars and inflammatory oils. If you have a peanut allergy, of course, avoid them entirely. And for those taking blood pressure meds or anticoagulants, the vitamin E and omega-6 content may slightly interact, so check with your doctor if you're increasing your intake substantially. Now let's bust a common myth. Some believe peanuts are too fatty or bad for weight loss. But the reality is quite the opposite. In a controlled portion, peanuts don't cause weight gain. In fact, they help prevent it by improving fullness, stabilizing blood sugar, and reducing cravings. And their fats? They're the kind that protect your heart and fuel your metabolism. So if you're managing diabetes, peanuts aren't just a snack. They're a blood sugar stabilizer, a heart protector, and a rich source of essential nutrients your body needs every single day. They work quietly in the background, meal after meal, to keep your energy stable, your A1C in check, and your long-term health on track. Where in the world are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. I love seeing how far our diabetes healthcare family reaches. Peanuts are powerful, but what if there's a nut that not only helps control blood sugar but also shields your brain, heart, and kidneys all at once? Second on list, walnuts. Walnuts might look small and simple, but for anyone managing diabetes, they are one of the most powerful foods you can add to your daily routine. These brain-shaped nuts are more than just a crunchy snack. They are loaded with a cocktail of bioactive compounds, essential fats, minerals, antioxidants, and plant sterols that work synergistically to lower blood sugar, improve insulin sensitivity, and defend the body against the damaging complications of diabetes. If you're looking for a natural, science-backed food that can help you manage your blood sugar while protecting your organs, nerves, and metabolism, walnuts should be on your shortlist. Let's start with the nutritional foundation. A 1-ounce serving of walnuts, around 14 halves, contains about 185 calories, 4 grams of protein, 18 grams of fat good kind, and just 4 grams of carbohydrates with 2 grams of fiber. That brings it down to only 2 grams of net carbs, or 1% of a typical 200-gram daily carb allowance for diabetics. More importantly, this single ounce delivers 44% of your daily omega-3 ALA alpha-linolenic acid, 11% of your daily magnesium needs, 10% of copper, 8% of phosphorus, and 5% of manganese. These minerals are not just numbers. They play critical roles in supporting blood vessel function, nerve conductivity, cellular glucose uptake, and mitochondrial energy production. Now let's talk insulin and A1C. One research study found that when people with type 2 diabetes consumed a handful of walnuts each day for 3 months, they experienced a significant drop in HbA1c and fasting insulin levels. Why? Because walnuts are one of the few plant foods that combine protein, omega-3s, fiber, and polyphenols in a way that slows down glucose absorption, blunts post-meal sugar spikes, and improves the body's ability to use insulin efficiently. That means better metabolic control, fewer sugar crashes, and potentially a reduced need for medication over time. When paired with a balanced diet and lifestyle, the benefits of walnuts don't stop at blood sugar. They offer full-body protection against diabetic complications. The omega-3s in walnuts help reduce inflammation in the arteries, lower LDL bad cholesterol by up to 10%, and triglycerides by up to 20%, while slightly increasing HDL good cholesterol. This is vital for diabetics, as heart disease remains the leading cause of death in people with type 2 diabetes. Walnuts also protect kidney function by reducing proteinuria, excess protein in the urine, a sign of kidney stress, and supporting better glomerular filtration rates. For the eyes, their rich antioxidant content, especially gamma-tocopherol, ellagic acid, and lutein, helps protect the delicate retinal tissues from oxidative damage, lowering the risk of diabetic retinopathy. Nerve damage is another major concern. Diabetic neuropathy can cause burning, tingling, numbness, or pain in the hands and feet. Walnuts help protect the nervous system by delivering L-arginine, an amino acid that boosts nitric oxide, improves blood vessel dilation, and enhances oxygen and nutrient delivery to damaged nerves. L-arginine also plays a role in repairing endothelial cells, the cells lining blood vessels, which is critical for reducing the risk of nerve deterioration. That same nitric oxide pathway also benefits sexual health in both men and women with diabetes, where circulation is often impaired. Let's go deeper. Walnuts influence hormones, particularly the hunger and satiety signals that control appetite and fat storage. Studies show that regular walnut consumption can reduce levels of ghrelin, the hormone that triggers hunger, while increasing levels of peptide YY, which helps you feel full. This is particularly important for weight management, one of the most essential elements in reversing insulin resistance. In fact, people who ate walnuts daily for just 6 weeks saw a reduction in belly fat and improvements in insulin sensitivity, even without changing their total calorie intake. There's also a fascinating gut connection. The polyphenols in walnuts serve as prebiotics, feeding beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome plays a surprising role in controlling inflammation, glucose metabolism, and even mental clarity. Walnuts help promote the growth of short-chain fatty acid-producing bacteria, which are linked to better insulin function and lower systemic inflammation. Pro tip: eat 7 to 10 walnut halves about 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day. This small habit can help reduce post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 20%, improve insulin response, and even curb cravings by lowering the hunger hormone ghrelin. Pair it with a glass of water or green tea, and you're giving your metabolism a head start before the carbs even hit. How much do you need? Around 1 ounce per day, roughly a small handful, is the sweet spot. That's enough to give you the full metabolic benefits without overloading your calories. You can enjoy them raw, lightly roasted, or blended into walnut butter. They work beautifully in oatmeal, Greek yogurt, smoothies, on top of salads, or even crushed as a coating for fish or chicken. And cost-wise, they're very accessible, averaging 30 cents to 50 cents per serving in the US, depending on quality and brand. Let's debunk a common myth. People often think nuts are too fatty or too high calorie for diabetics. But here's the truth. The fats in walnuts are the kind that actively lower inflammation, improve lipid profiles, stabilize blood sugar, and repair damaged tissues. These aren't the fats you avoid. They're the ones your body desperately needs for healing and balance. So if you're serious about lowering your HbA1c, protecting your heart and kidneys, boosting nerve repair, improving insulin response, and curbing sugar cravings, walnuts aren't just an option, they're a strategy. They're nature's perfectly packaged metabolic medicine, delicious, affordable, and backed by hard science. And in a world full of gimmicks and shortcuts, sometimes the most powerful answer is something as simple as a handful of walnuts. Do you already include walnuts in your diabetic routine? Drop A in the comments if they're part of your daily fuel. Let's see how many of us are nut-powered. But hold on, because what's coming next might surprise you even more. This next nut doesn't just manage glucose. It could be the secret to fewer cravings, better sleep, and smoother insulin response. Ready to find out which one? Third on list, almonds. Almonds might be small, but their impact on blood sugar and metabolic health is anything but. If you're living with diabetes, almonds are more than just a convenient snack. They're a therapeutic food backed by decades of research. These beige, crunchy gems are scientifically shown to help reduce blood glucose spikes, improve insulin sensitivity, support nerve and heart function, and provide a steady stream of energy without the crash. They don't just fill you up, they nourish you on a cellular level. Let's get specific. A 1 ounce serving of almonds, that's about 23 whole nuts, contains 164 calories, 6 grams of protein, 14 grams of fat, with 9 grams coming from monounsaturated fats, and 6 grams of carbohydrates. Thanks to 3.5 grams of fiber, the net carbs come down to just 2.5 grams, or roughly 1.25% of a typical 200-gram daily carb allowance. That's incredibly low for a food so nutrient-dense and satisfying. One recent study showed that adults with type 2 diabetes who added almonds to their diet every day for 12 weeks saw an average A1C drop of 0.6%. That's like turning back the clock on your diabetes, just with food. Nutritionally, that same ounce delivers 37% of your daily vitamin E, 19% magnesium, 17% riboflavin, 14% phosphorus, 13% manganese, 11% copper, and 8% calcium, all critical for metabolic function, nerve protection, and cardiovascular health. You're also getting small but meaningful doses of zinc, potassium, and iron. This micronutrient profile supports nearly every organ system affected by diabetes. Now let's talk real benefits. One research study showed that eating almonds daily reduced post-meal blood sugar spikes by up to 30% and improved fasting insulin sensitivity by nearly 20% in people with type 2 diabetes. That's due to the unique synergy of fiber, healthy fats, plant sterols, and polyphenols, all of which slow glucose absorption, calm inflammation, and support better hormone signaling. That means more stable energy, fewer cravings, and long-term A1C improvement. The vitamin E in almonds, 7.3 milligrams per ounce, acts as a powerful antioxidant, protecting your cells from oxidative damage that contributes to diabetic neuropathy and retinopathy. Magnesium, 76 milligrams per ounce, 19% daily values, supports over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including insulin signaling. Magnesium deficiency is found in over 30% of people with diabetes, and replenishing it through almonds may help restore blood sugar balance naturally. Almonds also support cardiovascular health, lowering LDL cholesterol by up to 10%, reducing oxidized LDL particles, and improving arterial flexibility. They also help lower C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation, by 20 to 30% in some studies. That's critical because systemic inflammation is what makes diabetes such a damaging, multi-organ disease. And for nerve and kidney protection, almonds deliver again. Their combination of copper, manganese, and healthy fats helps repair nerve sheaths and preserve kidney function by reducing glomerular inflammation. The fiber they provide helps improve gut health, feeding good bacteria that generate butyrate, an anti-inflammatory compound linked to better glucose regulation and insulin sensitivity. Even appetite control is in your favor. Almonds suppress ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and increase peptide YY, which signals fullness. People who eat almonds daily report feeling up to 40% more satisfied between meals and tend to eat fewer refined carbs over time. One study even found that people with type 2 diabetes who consumed 1.5 ounces of almonds per day for 12 weeks experienced a significant reduction in belly fat and improved A1C. So what's the ideal dose? Stick to 1 ounce daily, about 23 almonds, costing between 40 cents to 70 cents per serving in the US. You can eat them raw, dry roasted, or ground into almond butter. Try blending them into smoothies, topping your oatmeal, tossing them into stir fries, or making a low-carb almond crust for chicken or salmon. They're endlessly versatile. Pro tip, eat 10 almonds 10 to 15 minutes before your meal. This slows glucose absorption and reduces post-meal sugar spikes by up to 30%. A small habit, huge difference. Now let's bust a myth. Many people still avoid almonds thinking they're too fatty for diabetics. But these are the right fats: anti-inflammatory, insulin supportive, and heart protective. Almonds aren't the enemy, they're one of your best defenses. So if you're looking for a powerhouse food to naturally lower blood sugar, balance hormones, support nerve and heart function, and keep you full without carbs. Almonds deliver. Final thought. Here's the bottom line. These underrated snacks aren't just tasty, they're therapeutic. They work behind the scenes to lower your HbA1c, reduce inflammation, protect your organs, and keep your energy stable throughout the day. And the best part? They're affordable, easy to find, and can fit into almost any meal plan without stress. If you're serious about taking control of your blood sugar naturally, these tiny powerhouses might be one of the smartest habits you add to your routine. Now it's your turn. Have you tried adding any of these into your diabetic diet? What results did you notice? Drop your experience in the comments and let's help each other out. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful food tips for diabetics. Your next step toward better blood sugar might